we're talking about that the scriptures are able to make you wise, right? Let's go to 1 Timothy 1 and 8. Going to 1 Timothy 1 and verse 8, and we're going to see that there's a law, and we know that when we read through the scriptures, the law is forever. The law is eternal, right? Mm-hmm. The law is a good thing. The law teaches you not to sleep with someone else's wife. Mm-hmm. The law teaches you, not to fornicate. The law, everything that the law is teaching you is for your benefit and for a connection with the Most High. It teaches you about the Sabbath. The Most High gave you a day of rest. It gives you that. Tells you the things not to dabble in, right? Like, for example, you don't want to deal in witchcraft, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want to deal in homosexuality, right? You don't want to be a murderer, right? So the law is good, right? And again, it's giving you instructions, right? This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 1, and we're going to just start at 8. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient. So a lot of times, we have family members, we have friends that no matter what, they do bad things. Right. And for example, you'll meet people and you'll say, yo, you can't sleep with someone's wife. And they'll look at you like, why? I didn't know that. They thought that the songs we sing about fornication and stealing somebody, they think that it's the normal thing to do. Mm-hmm. The law is training you to tell you that's not what you're supposed to do, right? For the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine. So the law is good, because in some doctrines they tell you that you can drink blood. In some doctrines they tell you that you can sacrifice animals. In some doctrines, fornication or sexual rituals are involved. So the law is telling you not to do those things, right? Let's go back to 2 Timothy, and I want to read 1 to 6. Actually, no, I don't. Actually, 2 Timothy 3 and 1 to 6. So the Bible is not only telling you the law, it's not only telling you how to deal with your neighbor, it's not only telling you how to deal with your wife, how to deal with your husband, how to deal with your children, how to deal with the health of your body, how to eat, not to eat pork and things that are not good for the body. But it's also telling you about time, right? The Bible tells you what took place in the old days, in the ancients with your forefathers or your ancestors. The Bible is telling you what took place all throughout history, certain wars. And it's also telling you what's going on now. And it's telling you what's going to happen in the last days. And in the last days, it tells you to look for these signs, right? And we all say it. People who believe in the Bible and even those who don't, that these are the last days. Reading out of the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, and unholy. You're seeing a very high increase of children killing their parents, right? Especially even in our community, which wasn't something that was really heard of, right? You have people that are boasters and proud. The internet has allowed children to not really, I'm not saying they don't work for what they have, but the true labor of I worked at the movie theater, and then I used to work in a warehouse, and then I paid to go to school. The internet has allowed these children to become millionaires quickly. So they truly don't understand like that work ethic, right? And because everything is at your fingertips, whether it's a book report, when we used to do book reports, a book report was done like every month, and it took you sometimes a month to go to the library. If you had like for a long time, I didn't have a Britannica encyclopedia in my house. People with money had that.
Right.
You had to go to the library. You had to get Encyclopedia Britannica, or you had to find the book that you wanted and sit down and write your book report. Right now, I could write 50 book reports. I could write 1,000 with AI right now. Right. When before it took us a month. So these are the times that we're in, where people are almost ungrateful for what they have because it comes so easily, right? So it says, in these last days, they will be without natural affection. You see a lot of the podcasters when they're asking women what kind of man that they want, and they'll straight tell you, he better have money. Nothing else matters. Not his conscience, not his kindness, not they don't even care what he looks like now. It's morals, just his morals. Yeah. They just want money, right? And people are backstabbers now, right? Truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of things that are good. They don't care about anything that is good, right? People, punch them in the face. They say no bullying because people are getting bullied on the internet. People will run you over with their car right now, right? Like people will throw you in front of the train right now. This is what's going on during these times. Traitors, right? You see it in the politics, especially whether you're Democrat or Republican. You thought this person was for this person, they'll throw you under the bus in 2 seconds. Especially even on the job. Like you think that a person is cool with you, but if the position is available, they'll throw you under the bus in a second, right? High-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. People are lovers of their bodies. You have people putting eyelashes on eyelashes, butts on butts, breasts on breasts. People, they don't care about God. It's all about what I look like. You see them walking across the street with the phone in their face, about to get hit by a bus. But all they care about is, look, what do I look like, right? And even now that so many are on TikTok, you can see it. It's all about, what do I look like? And when something happens to them, if they get sick or they're in an accident or someone can see through them that you really don't believe you're beautiful and they say something bad, this person's ready to kill themselves because it's all about what they look like. Having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. Right? So these type of people turn away from, because we want to be around people that's looking for the Most High. We want to be around people that are spiritual. We want to be around people that have morals, right? Let's go to, so these are some of the things that the Bible teaches about, and one of them is pride, right? Let's go to Proverbs 6 and 16. And we know America is a proud nation, and not that we're going to focus on America specifically. We're going to focus on pride. Even some of us have pride, right? And even in teaching these scriptures, we see a lot of people are worried about themselves in the truth and not Hamashiach, who's the king, who's the savior, who's the redeemer, right? So go to Proverbs 16 and 17. And let me know when we're about 15 minutes before, because, I don't want to be late getting out of here.
All right.
Reading out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 17. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. So the Bible is telling you, for you, the highway all the time, and for you to be upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. For you to choose the right way and to you to depart from evil, that's how you preserve your soul, right? Verse 18, pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before fall. And we see it all the time in this world, whether it's celebrities, whether it's movie stars and actresses, singers, whether it's people who've worked with you, whether it's friends and family members who got money and they started to act different, or a co-worker who worked with you and was cool, became a manager, turned into a monster, and got caught stealing later on and stepped on everyone on their way to the top. And sooner or later when they fall, there's no one to put out a hand to help them. There's no one to state, hey, I know where you can get a job, because they're like, when you were in a good position, you were evil. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's go to Sirach chapter 25 and verse 2. This is the book of Sirach. I'm going to start at verse 1. This is chapter 25 and verse 1. In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful, both before God and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together. So these things are beautified both before God and men, right? To see a happy family, a husband that gets along with his wife. The unity of brethren and sisterns, such as like right now, such as when we went to the Feast of Tabernacles, we had a wonderful, wonderful time, right? And this is verse 2. Three sorts of men my soul hateth, right? I am greatly offended at their life. A poor man that is proud. How many of us have seen poor people get some Jordans and turn around and mock another poor person that doesn't have it, but they're poor too? You know what I mean?
Good.
How many people have turned around and mocked somebody who doesn't have a car because they might have came into a little bit of money, or they worked and they saved up for a car, or their father bought them a car. But because you have a car, you're not rich. You're still living in the ghetto.
Right.
But you want to mock somebody else because they don't have one, right? A rich man that is a liar. There's nothing. So God is saying, I don't like this. I don't like a rich man that's a liar. What do you need to lie for? You have everything, right? And an old adulterer that doted. It's a man that's old past his prime, up in years, and instead of learning that, hey, people that do that have no understanding, you still walking around doting and acting out, right? And acting as this is the way to go, you know? Let's go to Sirach chapter 10 and verse 12. And if anybody has anything, you know, this is reading out of the book of Sirach chapter 10 and verse 12. This is the beginning of pride, okay? The beginning of pride is when one departeth from God. So generally, when someone is proud, generally when someone thinks it's all about them, generally when someone will step on anything, kill anybody to do their own thing, they're not dealing with the Most High, right? When one departed from God and his heart is turned away from his Maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Most of your celebrities are proud. You'll hear people say, I'll do anything for $1 million, right? Because they don't care. The glamour, the glitz and glamour of fame, the glitz and glamour of fortune, the glitz and glamour of having people call their name and be known as a celebrity so that they can technically be proud, that's what they're looking for. And generally, they've all stepped away from their Maker, right? The Lord hath cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. Wasn't Nebuchadnezzar very proud, right? And the Most High threw him down for 7 years, and he made him eat grass like an animal, right? The Lord hath plucked up roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. He took some of them away and destroyed them, and hath made their memorial to cease from the earth. Pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman. So the Most High is telling you, I didn't make pride for you, because really there's nothing that you have to be proud about, because you're worms and dirt. That's what you're made of. What do you have to be proud about? That you are literally worms and dirt, right? Let's talk about evil. The Bible tells us not to be evil, and we notice in the times that we're living in are very evil times, to the point where people can almost change your nature and make you like that depending on how they act. Well, not depending on how they act, depending on how they interact with you, right? Psalms 34 and 14. Reading out of the book of Psalm, chapter 34 and 14. The Bible, what does the Bible inform us and instruct us to do? Right? This is the advice. This is the correction. This is the reproof and stuff that the Bible tells us, right? Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Whether it's with your wife, whether it's with your children, whether it's with your neighbor, whether it's with the brethren, whether it's with your boss, the Bible is telling you to seek peace. And when you go into the New Testament, under the commandments of Hamashiach, that's always what he's telling the disciples and everyone to do. Seek peace and to love your neighbor. And not only that, to forgive them, right? And your neighbor is everyone, not just an Israelite, everyone, right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 27. Reading out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil. So people that's going to be digging up evil, they're ungodly people, right? And in his lips, there is a burning fire. A lot of times it's cursing, it's swearing. He's got a problem with people. He doesn't like this, he doesn't like that, right? A forward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth friends, right? A violent man enticeth his neighbor and leadeth him into the way that is not good. This is all evil right here. A forward man sowing strife, people that start beef, right? Or people that whisper and say, I saw your husband over there with somebody. I don't know what's really going on. And they plant seeds into people's heads, right? Because they like to see these things, right? A whisperer that separated chief friends. You could be real friends, you could be really good friends with someone, and someone come and start whispering to one of your to someone about you, and telling you things that's not true, and you start giving them the side eye or a little attitude or not trusting what they say. And sometimes sometimes people are jealous of a friendship, and they'll do that, right? Proverbs 7. Let's go to Proverbs 17 and 11. Reading out of the book of Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 11. An evil man seeketh only rebellion. So an evil man is not about peace. An evil man is not, whether it's in his house, whether it's in his job, he's not about peace. It's always rebellion. Therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. The Most High is going to send someone who's just like him, who's cruel, who's starting beef with people, who doesn't know how to behave, basically, right? Bible says, let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man rather than a fool in his folly. I really wanted to jump that, but whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. So if you're rewarding evil for good, evil is not going to leave your house. This is the scriptures. This is what the Most High is telling us. And certain people that we've grown up with, we've seen that. Whether it's drug dealers, people who steal, people who pimp, or people who prostitute. It's this one is in jail. That one is in jail.
Right.
This one came out of jail. That one died. We always notice evil doesn't leave their house, and we see it where you're like, "What happened now? Oh, you heard? So and so got shot," and you're just like, everything is happening to this. The Bible is telling you, evil's not going to depart from their house, right? Let's go to Colossians 3 and 25. This is the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 25. It says, but he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons. There's a scripture that I really wish I had to go with this. Actually, hold on a second. It actually might be right here. No. Basically, the Most High chastises Israel immediately because we are the firstborn. But if you're doing wrong, right, you're going to receive for the wrong that you have done.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Unfortunately, I won't call any names. I know someone when I was growing up. He was married. He was cheating on his wife. Was going with a woman who had AIDS. And ended up coming home. and giving it to his wife, right? You out there doing wrong, you received wrong, and unfortunately that wrong brought down your entire household. You died, your wife is suffering for these years, right?
Right.
So you rob somebody, you kill somebody, you're now on the run. It's only a matter of time before you get caught. You're anxious, you're a vigilante, you're a fugitive. Whatever you do wrong, you're gonna end up paying for it. Okay? So the Bible again is instructing you, don't do wrong.
Right.
Live a peaceful life, have a good life, right? Psalms 37 and 9. You know, I'm not really going into the deep scriptures, but it's just for us to always, you know, remember that the Bible is a lot of people, when they hear about the Bible, they think it's, oh, hallelujah, praise Jesus, and it's always like that. These commandments are the way for a nation to operate. These commandments are the way for people to operate amongst themselves or in a household. All right? What does it say? Psalms 37. What time is it?
1:30.
Okay. About 15 minutes. Reading out of the book of Psalm chapter 37 and verse 9. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord shall inherit the earth. So what is the Bible telling us? The Bible is telling us that if you're an evildoer, you're getting cut off.
Right.
You're not going to enter into the gates of the kingdom. Right? So it's as simple as that. If you obey me, you're going to enter into the kingdom. If you're wicked, if you're evil, I'm going to cut you off. Right. It's real simple. And we know that keeping his commandments and following after him is the way that we please him, right? So that's the way to enter into the kingdom, right? And keeping his commandments, you're not being evil, right? You're choosing the high path, the highway. Stay in the same chapter, verse 27 and verse 29. It's telling us here, depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. If you do good unto yourself, unto your neighbors, unto the stranger, because it even says, at times you're entertaining angels, right? It's saying, do good and live forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. So the Most High, as your father, as your instructor, right? The person who gives you your example is telling you, do good and dwell evermore. There's a scripture in the book of Luke that says, for it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, right? I don't want to punish you. He says, what is it? I don't want to kill a sinner. I believe it's something like, for the Most High doesn't cherish in the death of a sinner or something like that, right? He's not looking to kill you. He's looking for you to make it into the kingdom. But if you're evil, you're not coming. We'll talk about violence. Let's go to Psalm 11. And again, this is the Bible giving people instructions. People say, oh, I don't ever read the Bible. Oh, I hate the Bible. It's just that the Bible is, so you hate hearing that you shouldn't kill somebody. You hate hearing that someone certain murders somebody, because a lot of us have suffered that. And maybe the person that did it, they never heard this. So this is good. These are good instructions, right? Reading out a book of Psalm chapter 11, and I'm going to verse 5. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Listen to what the Most High said. The Lord trieth the righteous, right? You're going to be tested. But the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. This whole era, this whole age is about violence. Whether it's the video games, it's the movies. We're dealing in the time of gangs. We're dealing in the time of just, even your reality TV is violent, right? This is what's being pushed, right? And so none of those things are pleasing to the Most High, right? Let's go to Psalms 140, and I'm going to read from 1 to 4. Reading out of the books of Psalm 140, chapter 1. Deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, right? Because I'm praying to you for that because I know you hate that man, right? And I'm not going to get blood on my hands, but I know he that doeth wrong, Father, you're going to give him for the wrong that he has done.
Right.
Which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. You got people that's looking for beef all the time. Whether it's people that got a gun and they're going to bump you and see how you act so they could slug you. You have people that just think like that, right? They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. So he's saying, keep me from their hands. These people are evil. Preserve me from the violent man who have purposed to overthrow my goings. We're seeing that from the people in high places. I'm going to leave it at that. Right? We're seeing agencies or agents come into our communities. Right? Under the pretext or the pretense of, oh, there's a lot of crime in this area. But the other government officials are saying crime has been the lowest during this time. And we're sending military, we're sending the military in, we're sending in the National Guard now, right? So clearly there's a plan or at play, right? Clearly there's an agenda at play. And we're seeing a lot of the people that are running around as agents, they're not police. They have no badge. They're running around with their face covered. Anyone doing, and they're running around under the cover of darkness. Anyone doing that, they've already shot a few people, right? They've already extradited people or deported people, and they were actually citizens of the land. These are people that are they're bloodthirsty. They're looking for this. Right. They're provoking us to react, right? Let's go to Proverbs and back to 16. Well, I don't need to go to that. Drop that. Go to Genesis 6 and verse 11. All right, and this is just telling you why we shouldn't be violent, because when the earth was violent before, what did the Lord do to it? Right? Reading out of the book of Genesis chapter 6 and verse 11. The earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. We just read before, the Most High hates violence, right? And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, and all flesh had corrupted his way upon earth. We're watching that happen again. We're watching whether it's men of this same sex, whether it's violence, whether it's there's a certain ignorance that's prevalent in the earth right now, right? And so this is what happened before, right? And the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. For the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So the Most High destroyed the earth because it was violent, because that's all they knew. You want to stop? You want me to stop? All right. We can talk about murder. Let's go into the Bible speaking about death. Right? Let's go to the book of Sirach. Chapter 38. I can read my own writing. And actually, before I get there, we can start at the top. And this is stuff that we know. But you know, a lot of our people, when they're sick, they won't go to the doctor. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? And we're saying the Bible is for instruction, right? Don't take my word for it. What does the Most High say to do, right? Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which you may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. I made a physician for a reason. That's why he exists in the earth. For the Most High, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. But so I just wanted to touch that really quick, because there's the Most High telling you, go to the doctor, right? I made him. He's there for a reason, right? I was going to talk about death. This is the book of Sirach 38 and verse 16. My son, let tears fall down over the dead and begin to lament, as if thou hadst suffered a great harm thyself. And then cover his body according to the custom, and neglect not his burial. So the Bible is telling you what to do when somebody passes away.
Right.
Weep bitterly. A lot of people try not to do that. They try to hold it in. But you become angry. You become bitter. You become nasty, right? The time when you were supposed to do that, I'm a man, just cry. Brother, cry.
Right,
Let it out.
Right.
Right? You're not fooling anybody.
Right.
Weep bitterly and make moan, and you make great moan, and use lamentation as he is worthy, and that a day or two, lest thou be evil spoken of, and then comfort thyself for thy heaviness. If someone dies and you don't cry, people begin to, they didn't have a good relationship.
Right.
Oh, what's up, man? His mother died and he didn't even shed a tear, right? For of the heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength. The heaviness of the heart, you see a lot of times a man will die and his wife will die within that year.
Yes, right.
Or the wife will die and the man will die within that year.
Right.
And sometimes, depending on if a child dies, the mother is very stricken, especially in a horrible way. The mother dies not too long after, right? That's heaviness of the heart.
That's right.
Right? In affliction also sorrow remaineth. When there's affliction, look at us, we're being afflicted. Aren't we sorrowful? Right? And the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. Our life is a curse, right? Take no heaviness to heart. Drive it away and remember the last end. So cry, get over it, comfort yourself, pray, right? But get over it, right? Drive it away and remember the last end. Forget it not, for there is no turning again. Thou shalt not do him good, but hurt thyself. So you can't bring him back, right? Going to the person to do a seance and all, you can't bring him back, right? This is the way life is, right? Remember my judgment, for thine also shall be so. The same way that person passed away is the same way you're gonna pass away too. Okay? Yesterday for me, and today for thee, right? When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest, right? Don't keep bringing them up. Oh, I'm gonna bring another picture. I'm gonna show the picture. Oh, you saw my son again, and you see people do that, right? Let the dead rest, right? This is not from me. This is from the Most High.
Right.
And be comforted for him. You know what? He had a good life. He had a short life. He had a long life, but he had life. The Most High called him home for whatever reason, right? When it's be comforted for him when his spirit is departed, right? That's it on that. I want to jump to 2 Ezra 41, and this one is short. This is 2 Ezra 41 and verse 1. Death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions. Unto the man that hath nothing to vex him, and that hath prosperity in all things. Yea unto him that is yet able to receive me. So death to a man that has nice things, a beautiful life, beautiful wife, children, and a boat and a yacht and vacations and golfing and all. Death is going to be, I don't want to die. You know what I mean? So it's bitter to you, right?
Right.
O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy, right? And unto him whose strength faileth. Whether it's a child who could be sick, it could be a wife, a mother, a person, who's not doing well, right? And unto him whose strength faileth, that is now in the last age. I'm watching my parents. They're losing their faculties. They're losing their mind. They're dropping things. They don't remember things. They're losing their hearing. You know what I mean? Right. Frustration and bitterness is beginning to. You can't walk the same. You go to the bathroom often. You know what I'm saying? You life is not the way it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
That is now in the last age, and it says it right here, and is vexed with all things. The sucking of the teeth. What'd you put that there for?
Right.
What's this? Oh my, you know what I mean? And to him that despaireth and has lost patience, you begin to lose patience quickly.
Right.
You know what I mean? The person passing with the music outside, the music's too loud.
Too loud, right.
You know what I mean? The TV's too loud.
Right.
You know, this has too much gravy. I don't want gravy. I want gravy. You know what I mean? Fear not, the Bible tells you, fear not the sentence of death. Most people fear death, right? You generally fear death when you're doing evil because you don't want to go to the Father that way.
Right.
But fear not the sentence of death. So if you're doing righteously, don't fear the sentence of death.
Yeah.
Remember them that have been before thee and that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh. I'm going to end my class on this right here so that we can just, get in a few minutes of talking or while we're breaking down. But I just wanted to let people know that whether it's death you're going through, whether it's dealing with your children, whether it's dealing with your husband, whether it's dealing with your wife, the Bible is where you need to go. Right? Actually, talking about that, I saw something in Ephesians. No, it's Corinthians. We'll go into that some other time. But my point is that whether it's dealing with a job, whether it's dealing with your boss, your wife, your children, the doctor, the Bible is here to give you instruction and to give you correction. Now that there's AI, now that there's the internet, let's just say you're not with a congregation, a lot of these things you can ask and it'll tell you the Bible scripture to go and find it. So there's really no longer a reason for us to say, well, I don't know where that is in the Bible. The AI will find it for you. Okay? And that's my class.